as Texas and Alabama played a game, number 3 Alabama, number 11 Texas, hook 'em, as Carl Dukes on 92.9 The Game said. I'm a Dogs fan. Y'all see the stuff behind me. We going for the three-peat this year. You see the gear behind me. Like I said, been a Dogs fan my whole life. Love what the Dogs have been doing lately. But this game here was the best game of the college football weekend. This is what everybody was waiting for because last year it was 20-19. Quinn Ewers gets knocked out in the first quarter, and people sit there and ask, "What if Quinn Ewers played that game?" Because we see Tennessee be good enough to beat Alabama in a shootout at home. So who's to say that Texas could not have, hung with this here? And let's just talk about how this was really a revenge game for Texas and everything that they really did coming into this one. Steve Sarkisian was waiting for this one for a while. Again, last year they let it get away from him 20-19. Quinn Ewers goes off after leaving in the first quarter last year, 24 of 38 this year, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 6 plays of 30 or more yards. And everybody was wondering last year, what if Quinn Ewers played in this game? Quinn Ewers balls out in this game. A lot of back and forth here, sloppiness on both sides. But I think we can say that Nick Saban got out coached, maybe finally, by one of his former folks. Obviously, we've seen Kirby Smart do it. Now Steve Sarkisian's giving him a run for his money, now taking a win. And it's kind of wild to see an Alabama team now, year after year, like the torch is passing off. Kirby Smart is coming in. We've got like USC coming up. We've got Michigan, Penn State, Florida State. These teams are coming in. And it's not to say that Alabama is not going to be a good team this year. They could damn well go on and win a national championship if they wanted to because of Nick Saban himself, because of the power of how he gets players to come play for him, because they are the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's not kid ourselves with that. We know that this is a powerhouse football program. No question about it. But you got Tavion Sanders last year had 3 grabs for 4 yards, and he goes off this year with 5 catches, 114 yards. He's 6'4", 243 pounds. He's going to be a top prospect in the NFL. Texas hadn't done this since 2010. Win against a top 5 opponent, do it on the road, quarterback plays the full game, and your quarterback actually outplays Alabama's quarterback. That's kind of the big story here as well, is that Alabama's got a quarterback question after sending Bryce Young, Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, and Mac Jones all to the NFL, which I would say the 4 quarterbacks are, with the exception of Bryce, and I guess you could kind of throw Mac in the mix of what if, those 4 guys are probably going to have solid NFL careers, whether it's a consistent backup or you're going to go on to win Super Bowls like Jalen Hurts or be consistently in divisional round like a Tua. Like Alabama has been producing quarterbacks. And now to know that Jalen Milroe had to be better in this game. Jalen Milroe was 14 of 27. He never looked comfortable in this game. 255 yards. He did have 2 big touchdown plays of 40 and 50 yards, but he also had 2 critical interceptions as well. There was no consistency in this offense for Alabama, a lot of sloppy play calling, a lot of sloppy execution. And this is just something that Alabama's going to have to go back to the film room because it wasn't a horrible loss, right? It just wasn't an SEC Alabama output loss that we were probably used to and wanted to see. I mean, when was the last time? And not even really when was the last time, because Alabama, we know they weren't putting quarterbacks into the league like that really until Jalen Hurts. It was Jalen and then Tua, or at least in the order of how they came in. I think Tua and Jalen went the same year. Tua went number 5. Yes. Um, then you have Mac Jones and you have Bryce Young, number 1 overall. You have Tua at 5. Jalen Hurts could have argued to be the number 1 overall pick the year that he went, but Joe Burrow happens. Jalen Hurts turns the ball over a little bit at Oklahoma. Y'all can say what you want, but Jalen Hurts was absolutely balling at Alabama. Oh, he's an Oklahoma Sooner. He's both. Okay. He was going to possibly win the Heisman that year until a man named Joseph Lee Burrows stepped in and had the best college football quarterback season and the best season possibly of with a college football team. So to know that Alabama really might have to go back to a drawing board here for their quarterback situation. Nick Saban might have to look deeper on that quarterback room because this is something that Alabama is used to. Now, they've always had consistent quarterback play and at least good enough quarterback play, whether it's the Jimmy G scaling all the way up to Bryce Young and Jalen Hurts type of vibes. But Alabama's going to have to get the quarterback situation under control because Quinn Ewers can clearly play. You got guys like Shador Sanders, you got Bo Nix coming around. We got Jordan Travis. We got Jaden Daniels. We got Michael Penix Jr. This college football quarterback landscape is going to look really nice, and I think Alabama is going to want to be in that mix. But you got to love what Texas does as they beat Alabama here. Revenge game for Sark, Ewers, Tavion Sanders. Texans hadn't done this in 2010. Texas hadn't done it since 2010, win against a top 5 opponent, and they did it on the road. 2 turnovers from Jalen Miller also led to 10 points. Again, he just did not look comfortable against that Texas team. And this is going to be interesting to see how the pivot goes on